In this video, I'll be talking about the concepts and the questions regarding lines. So, what is a line? It is a one-dimensional geometric figure which has no thickness and it extends infinitely in both the directions. Now, the most important concept is finding the slope of a line. Now, what's the slope? It's the measure of the steepness of a line. How do we calculate that? It is calculated as the change in the distance of the y-axis over the change in the x-axis. So, basically, if this is a line that is AB, how do we calculate the slope? The change in the y-axis over the change in the x-axis. Okay. Now, let's move on to the different properties of a slope. So, if this is the line that we have over here. So we see that it is a rising line and this will have a positive slope because the change in the y-axis over the change in the x-axis will be positive. Similarly, over here in the second part, we have a negative slope or a falling slope because the change in the y-axis over the change in the x-axis will be negative. Now the third is a line which is parallel to the x-axis. Now if it is parallel to the x-axis, then there is basically no change in y because it is non-existent. So it is 0 by something. So that will be 0. So it has a 0 slope. Now similarly, if it is parallel to the y-axis, we have an infinite change over the y-axis. But is there any change in the x-axis? No. So basically we are dividing something, we are dividing by 0, which is not possible. So this has an infinite slope. The final takeaway from here is that is the greater the slope of the line, the steeper is our line. Now we have to find the slope of a line. When any 2 points are given on a particular line, the slope of that is given by y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. You have to take care that you be consistent with the assignment of y2, y1, x2 and x1. Okay. Now, the most important concept is finding the equation of a line. So, this is our basic equation of a line, that is y equal to mx plus c. This is the standard form. Now over here, m is basically the slope which we were finding out in the first half, and c is the y-intercept. So if this is our line, this portion is the y-intercept. Be careful to see that for the y-intercept it is 0 comma something. Okay, so it is 0 comma the y part of it. So y-intercept always has the x value as 0. This is very important in solving any sort of questions. And the slope, as we mentioned earlier, it is the change in the y divided by change in x. Now we come to the concepts of parallel lines. These two lines are parallel to each other, and if they are parallel, they will have the same slope. And if similarly, if they are perpendicular, what do you mean by perpendicular? That they are intersecting each other at 90-degree angle. So if we have two lines like that, the product of that will be -1. So if one line has a slope of m1, the other line has a slope of m2, the product of that will be -1. So basically, if we have one line, the other will be the negative of the reciprocal of the first slope. Now, we'll move on to some typical questions and tricks which are usually asked. The first thing is, when any 2 points are given, the slope is y2 minus y1 by x2 minus x1. Now, from there, if we have to find the equation of the line, we'll just take this formula. That is, y minus y1 equal to m into x minus x1. Be careful to see that you take the same x1, y1 in both the places. Let's move on to a simple example. So find the equation of the line which has 1, 2 and 3, 6. What do we do here? We assign x1 and y1 to 1, 2, x2 and y2 to 3, 6. You can do either of that. You can also make this as x1, y1 and this as x2, y2. That's your choice, but be consistent with it. Now we have to find the slope. So it is y2 minus y1 by x2 minus x1. So basically 6 minus 2 divided by 3 minus 1. So it's 4 by 2, that is 2. Now how do we find the equation? It is y minus y1 equal to m into x minus x1. So as we have taken it earlier, our y1 was 2 and our x1 was 1. Okay, so y minus 2 equal to 2 into x minus 1. So solving it, we see that 2 will get cancelled from both sides. We get y equal to 2x. This is the equation of the line. Now the second question, we see that the equation of the line is given and we need to find the y-intercept and the slope. And the equation is given in a very weird form. So this is not standard, right? So the first thing that we do is keep it in the standard form so that it becomes very easy for us. So what is the standard form? Y equal to mx plus c. So 7 plus 10y equal to 9x plus 32. Now 10y is 9x plus 32 minus 7. 10y is 9x plus 25. So basically y equal to 9 by 10x plus 25 by 10. Now comparing, we see that this is of the same form as y equal to mx plus c. Now we'll compare and we'll get that m is 9 by 10 and the c is 25 by 10. So basically we got the y-intercept, which is 25 by 10, and we got the slope, which is 9 by 10. Now the third type of question is that a single point on the line is given and the y-intercept is given. So we have to find the equation of the line which passes through 4, 6 and the y-intercept is 2. So as I mentioned earlier, that since the y-intercept is given, the point is 0, 2. Because for any y-intercept, the x value has to be 0. So basically this becomes similar to the first type of question when 2 points are given. So the points are 4, 6 and 0, 2. So I have assigned x1, y1 to 4, 6 and 0 to 2, x2, y2. So we can find the slope similarly, it will be 1. And similarly the equation of the line is y equal to mx plus c or y minus y1 equal to m into x minus x1. So I have put it over here and we get that y minus 6 equal to m1 into x minus 4. So we get this the same thing, that is y equal to mx plus c. We can also directly do it over here because we already know that the y-intercept is 2. We can put it over here, that is 2. And we know that the slope is 1. So we get y equal to x plus 2. You can use either of the methods. Now the last type of question is, what is the slope of a line which is parallel and perpendicular to y equal to 5x plus 8? So this is the line which is given. So comparing it to the standard form, we get that the slope of the line is 5, right? Now for finding any parallel line, we know that it has to have the same slope. So basically, which is very simple, that will be similar to 5. And for the perpendicular, what we follow is, we'll have to have an opposite sign and it has to be the reciprocal. So the opposite sign is minus and the reciprocal is 1 by 5. So basically 5 into minus 1 by 5 will be giving us minus 1. So this was the condition for any perpendicular line. Now if you have any other question, please feel free to write in the comments and check out the playlist for other questions. Thank you.